All right, we're back with another episode of Byron Scott's Fast Break. We got actor Robert Ri'chard in the building. Before we get this thing started.
Before you go, man, now this is going to be some fun.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time.
Some fun because Robert, he's a neighborhood brother. You know what I mean?
Right. He's from the hood.
Some of y'all might not know that. That means he's from the hood.
That's right.
You know, he grew up around my way, a lot younger.
Yeah.
But grew up around my way. But go ahead. I know I want you to finish going what you're saying, but I'm excited to have Robert here. That's all I'm saying.
By the way, Byron, that's what I looked like 10, 15 years ago. I just want to say that. That's what I looked like 10, 15 years ago.
and Robert is shape too, dog, man. He in shape. Keep yourself together.
Can you give me the light-skinned brother cheat code? Or like what's going on here? Like for reals, give me the cheat code.
First of all, listen, I respect you guys a lot, but y'all disrespected the hell out of Coach Carter out of the game last episode. Okay, listen.
Okay, we're going to get into that in a second.
I know, but I'm just going to let you guys know. You can't be putting top 5 sports movies and not mention Coach Carter. That's just that's sacrilegious.
We going to get to.
Okay.
I know you got beef with Byron here in a second. But before we get to the beef,
okay,
you brought something here. We got to do it the right way, though, right?
Absolutely,
okay,
absolutely.
So talk about what you brought here, and are you gonna pour for us?
Yeah, of course I am. Of course,
but talk about what you got.
I'm a big fan of just supporting the bigger picture, and so this spirit supports breast cancer. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month right now, all across the board. Whether it be NFL, basketball, whatever, it's a big thing. Breast cancer touches everybody. It's Unavaca. We bottle it out of Florida. It's fantastic. It's a low ABV and it's exceptional. You can taste it. Watch. I'll pour it.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it's really good because I didn't had a few sips before we even started the podcast. So I just want you to know that Robert got something here, guys. He got something here.
Another one?
Yeah, I'm good. Okay. I'm good.
All right.
Very good. Very good. Cheers.
Cheers.
Robert,
Cheers.
Thank you again, brother, for joining us. We appreciate this.
You know I love you.
All right. So the reason why we're here. So Robert slid into the comment section.
Absolutely.
Of our one of our episodes.
Yeah.
And we talked about Byron Scott's top 5 sports movies of all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Robert, I'll just let you go ahead and say what you had to say.
Well, ours is the biggest, has the biggest legacy. If you go through any airport in the world, don't matter what sport they teach, it'd be baseball, football, lacrosse, it don't matter. They're going to say, we watched Coach Carter at the start of the season. So I think by definition, that makes it best sports movie. Then we've been in a lot of polls. Okay. We've gotten to the top. Uh-huh. I get, remember the Titans?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get remember the Titans.
Byron, tell them your top 5 first.
Okay,
tell them your top 5.
So my top 5, again, going back to the show, my top 5 was Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
Blue Chips. And what was my last one?
Rudy.
Take Rudy out of there. Everybody says take Rudy out of there.
That was the question I was going to say. So which one? I'm going to ask Robert this question.
Okay.
Which one am I taking out?
Yeah,
you answered that real quick. So take Rudy out, huh?
You got to take Rudy out for sure. So I'll tell you guys an interesting story about Coach Carter.
Okay.
So obviously the story's real.
Yes.
And Ken Carter is the actual Coach Carter. He comes down to Beverly Hills. I guess he walks into a building, walks into William Morris, goes to the top floor, gets off the elevator, and just walks into the CEO's office. Just unannounced. And shut the door. Was sit down, I got a story to tell you. And told the story of Coach Carter.
Really?
And then he said, and I'm trying to figure out if I want Denzel or Sam Jackson to play me, and then fully manifested the whole thing.
What?
So he had no appointment, no nothing. He just had a movie thought in his mind.
Because he's that personality.
Wow.
And so Mike Tolan and Brian Robbins, Mike did The Last Dance, MJ.
Okay.
They produced everything. All the sports movies of the 90s, 2000s. They did Varsity Blues. They did a bunch of movies. So they bought the life rights for him and then started developing it. It took 3 years to develop, but when we got to actual shooting the movie, we shot it for 6 months, and it was like training camp. And the USC football coach,
Pete Carroll?
No, the head of the defense. I can't think of his name right now. It just slipped my mind. But he was our basketball coordinator. and they put us through like 2 months of conditioning before we shot for like 4 months. So we were all together for like 6 months.
Okay, so the question is, when you guys are going through this training, and
we're at Long Beach, Jordan.
You're at Long Beach, Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay, Long Beach, Jordan High School.
Yeah, that's where we train.
Wow. Okay, and so all these characters, Channing Tatum and all these guys.
Yeah.
Like you said, you had a hell of a cast, right?
Yeah.
Ricky
Who couldn't play
Gonzalez.
basketball worth a damn that had to be really taught how to play and get ready for this movie?
Channing can't play basketball for shit.
Yeah. I read that he never even picked up a basketball.
He's a football player.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was like, he's athletic, but he can't play basketball. And Rick, they made him spot up for a reason.
Made him spot up too because he couldn't do nothing else. Is that what
exactly.
that was?
But Antoine Tanner played in Sunset Park, which is also a great basketball movie, and Above the Rim. You missed a lot.
Okay, I'm a little bit more old school.
Okay,
so go ahead.
all right,
You're talking about some younger movies. So okay.
But Tanner played in the Drew League, played Worm, and then obviously Nana played basketball, and then the guy who played like the other rival basketball player, he played too.
So talk about being on the set of this movie.
Yeah.
Like, how was it working with Samuel Jackson?
They don't like me. I'm light skinned. I'll tell the truth.
Oh, you know us light-skinned brothers, we got to stick together.
Absolutely.
Shit, Rick wasn't dark or
No,
something.
so
You know what I'm saying?
This is the real accurate story. So I met Coach Carter at Mike Tolan's house playing hoop in the backyard. And then he hit me with the okie doke. He was like, yeah, I'm about to get this movie made by my life. He was like, can you give me a ride at West Covina? I'm like, West Covina? That's like, take a flight there. So I ended up taking Coach Carter to West Covina, and he got my number, and he was like, you're going to play my son. You remind me of my actual son, Damian Carter. 2 years later, he calls me. He's like, the movie's getting made. Sam Jackson's playing me. You're playing my son. And I was like, oh, okay, facts. So they brought me to the audition. They're like, nah, you're too light-skinned.
Really?
So they cut me out. And I was out, dude. And I was kind of heartbroken about it. But then they didn't find anybody. So then they end up having a chemistry read with me and Sam in the movie, and we did the grades switching school scene, and it was like perfect. And it was
So Sam
picked me.
picked
Sam
you.
said yes.
Okay.
That's the gonna play with. And we were like this the whole time. But Thomas Carter, who was the director, he did not like me on the movie. He just had a gripe. I don't know.
How'd that make you feel though when you're on the set and you're doing your scenes, knowing that in the back of your mind,
This dude
this
don't like
man
me.
did
Yeah.
not select me.
You know what it is, though? You got to just stay tough. You know, as an athlete, I think everyone understands when you think you should be a starter and they got you riding the pine.
Yeah.
Like, me coming from the private school going to, sort of in the storyline, I think it was good fuel. And I was very, very close with Sammy. He kind of had my back. There was some fights that kind of broke out on set. And they were
Like fist fights.
not fist fights,
Or-
just
or
like
like pushing and shoving
no,
and
just actually
screaming at each other.
actually like executive fights, being
Oh,
like,
okay, gotcha.
Really?
right, like who's
Okay.
gonna get fired and all this kind of stuff. So we all just pushed through it. But a lot of the scenes that I had ended up on the cutting room floor because the first cut of the movie was 4 hours, and it was incredible. Some of us saw it. And then they're like, we can't do that because, just the money.
Yeah.
You can't like have a 4 hour movie.
Yeah,
Right,
too
right,
long.
right.
Yeah, so they cut it down to like 2:30, and then they cut it down to 2:12, and then I think the final cut was 2:06, which is like the extra movie time.
Yeah.
So
Talk about like the basketball scenes. How hard was it to shoot those basketball scenes?
Coach Graff. So Coach Graff came with the playbook out the gate. Like we pretty much started doing conditioning right after Thanksgiving. And we had everything, suicides, push-ups. I did about 500,000 push-ups and 100,000 suicides in that movie. But once they got through the conditioning, we started to do like, essentially it's called basketball choreography. And Coach Graff is known for that because he did Miracle with Keanu Reeves, the hockey movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he's done a bunch of other movies too.
It's another great sports movie.
Right. So we're just running the same plays that are gonna be shot from every angle with the cranes and the medium shots and the close-ups and all the emotion and stuff. And we're doing that, and then we just do that choreography when we're shooting.
So like in a basketball movie like that, do you have to do that same play because it's being shot from a bunch of different angles? Like how many times would you have to do that same play?
That's great. So let's say like every time the camera moves, it's a different letter on the slate. So like it'll be like slate A. And then if you move the camera, it's like slate B. We were on slate like CG. which is like 70 to 80 different angles on one play.
Wow.
Yeah.
So no wonder it was 4 hours.
Yeah. And everyone,
y'all working y'all ass off.
Yeah, it sure did. And it's like, the fake sweat. It's just like, it's heavy. Because they're just putting like cold water on you. Yeah, they're putting cold water on you the whole day. And it's just like weighing on you. It's cold. But
so you guys are on the sets for 12,
16-hour days.
16
12
hours.
16-hour days, yeah. I think we had 88 production days, which is like 17 weeks, something like that.
All right, so Robert, I got to ask you. In Coach Carter, had a lot of great scenes, but what is your favorite scene in Coach Carter?
My favorite scene in Coach Carter. I think everybody knows this one. It's probably okay. So the thing about it was we started in November,
right?
And we had basketball through. It's LA winter, but it's still wintertime,
right.
And we had to report to the gym at 5:55 with Coach Graff at Long Beach, Jordan, every morning.
Okay.
It was so bad we would sleep at the gym because we had to be back so early. We'd be there all night long. And so when we're doing the movie, all these takes from every angle, all these games that we had, it was endless. We were exhausted. And so they stacked the movie where the party scene was the last scene of the movie. And the producers are still mad at all of us to this day for that scene because we didn't fake any of that shit. We were out in West Hills at some mega mansion house. They had like a yacht that was in the garage, and we were drinking in the yacht. And Sam wasn't there yet because we got there at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We were wasted. So in that party scene, all the things when we're wasted and we're drunk, when we went in the pool, they specifically said, it was Charlotte Sumter and Brian Robbins, do not go in the pool. We don't have a permit for the pool. So me and Channing took all our clothes up on camera and jumped in and that splashed. And then we got all the girls in the pool and they was pissed. Then when Sam got there, they told on us. So when Sam walked up in the scene and he's like, Dang it, get your ass out of the pool. And then the cherry on top was we could not go in the master bedroom of the house. And then Antoine Tanner was in the master bedroom with a girl that on the balcony.
Right, that was supposed to live there.
Yeah. So that was that scene, all of that stuff was real. And the girl that I kissed in that hot tub that I met ended up being my girlfriend for like 7 years. So it's like that was probably the biggest in the movie sort of like final day. And we were like 2 days over. So it was like day like 92 out of 89 or some shit like that.
I love that scene because when your dad said, get your ass out of the house, all right, Dad.
You only get behind the scenes Coach Carter right here.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. That was great.
We were drinking a Incredible Hulk. We had Hennessy.
What the hell is Incredible Hulk?
Hennessy and what's the blue one? Not Alizé, but the blue one. Hypnotic. Hennessy and Hypnotic we had in the Mountain Dew bottles. And we never, the producers were watching us get more and more drunk as we kept doing the scenes.
Man.
Oh my God.
We were in so much trouble.
That sounds
Shout out
like
that was a good scene.
to
one hell of a
and
party.
Anton
Yeah.
and Rob. I don't think Rob didn't drink, I don't think. But all the rest of us did.
That sounded like a good scene there.
Yeah, it was a good scene. It was a good scene. We broke a lot of rules. But that's probably the best scene in Coach Carter. That and then the fact that I hit the game-winning shot on the first take.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
you got to throw that in.
Yeah,
you got the game-winning shot. You know?
That's why the reaction was so authentic. Like it was the master. I think we were behind schedule that day, and Brian had been my director. Brian Robbins, the producer of Coach Carter, had been my director on. He did Cousin Skeeter.
Mm-hmm.
He did all the things I did with Shaq. He was the director. So he comes to me and he's like, Robert Ri'chard, I'm counting on you. You have to hit this shot on the first take. I'm like, I got it. And then we did the play and then did the floater, the teardrop, and it went in. And then I ran and jumped. That reaction was real.
Right.
The entire audience reaction was real. And we got it all. We had like 6 cameras out at the time. So we got the whole thing. It was great.
Fantastic.
Like, I do my own stunts, Jackie Chan.
All right, in this movie, Coach Carter, I mean, you worked with a lot of actors that were just getting their careers started at that time. I mean, Ashanti,
Yep.
Rob Brown, Octavia Spencer.
Spencer's
I
in
mean,
it too.
Channing Tatum was just getting started.
Yeah.
Channing's first movie.
I mean, talk about all these.
You don't
actors.
know that the person next to you is gonna hit. I mean, the person I'm probably closest with of the new breed was Channing. Channing was living on Airport Boulevard in Ladera at the Howard Johnson. And I had to pick him up every single
exactly
day.
What you're talking about too.
Yeah. I picked him up every single day and took him to basketball practice in the set. And it was like so much. Channing was like, I just gonna move in. So Channing slept on this blue couch that I have. And it's the luckiest blue couch. Freaking Channing's been on that couch. Michael B. Jordan sat on that couch.
Wow.
Shia LaBeouf sat on that couch. Everybody sat on the goddamn couch. I'm gonna start sleeping on the goddamn couch. But Octavius, like you don't know that they're gonna hit like that.
Yeah.
You know, they have, obviously this X factor that got them hired, and then that continues to propel them forward. I remember, Octavia, like that's her early in her career, and to think about how much she's done now and how just a respected and esteemed she is and how she can do everything. And you're just sitting there right next to her at lunchtime. You don't even realize it. I kind of was probably closest with Sam the whole movie because the bulk of my scenes were with Sam. With Sam.
Mm-hmm.
But Channing, I mean, I remember in the production office, he didn't have a headshot. Like Rick Gonzalez had a headshot and Rob Brown, Antoine he did Sports Theater with me, he did Sunset Park. Antoine did everything. But Channing had a tear sheet. It was like a magazine, and he was a Dolce & Gabbana underwear model.
Yeah.
And they like tore the page out of the magazine and pinned it to the wall. And then after that, he did the Step Up movie. And then, obviously now the rest is history.
Amazing.
Yeah. Step Up movie was a dance movie, right?
Yeah. But certain people though, you watch them and you see like how dedicated they were. Like I would say Channing was that way. Usher was that way. When I was doing Light It Up with Usher, he would do 1,000 sit-ups every day. He would run his album every day. Every day he'd be on the treadmill and sing his entire album. And then he's always like, let's play basketball. I used to beat Usher's ass. I'm from Chattanooga, bro. I'm from LA. No,
not happening. Not happening here.
We had a bet that was a great bet. Usher, my bet was if I beat you in basketball, take me out with you at night. Because he had just come off the Janet tour. He was like, he was a pop star.
Yeah.
So he would tell me to meet him downstairs. I would sneak out of the apartment that I was staying with my mom.
Yeah.
And he would look at me and go, what are you wearing? I'm like, my church suit. He said, why? I'm like, I don't have anything else, bro. I got white t-shirts and a church suit and a tie. And we'd be out in Chicago, and then Usher would start ordering clothes for me.
Well, I mean, you got to talk about a night out with Usher. Like, what was those like?
I remember I got in this truck. It was me, Usher, and some gangster in Chicago named Eat 'Em Up.
Eat 'Em Up.
Eat 'Em Up was the name of the gangster?
Wow.
Eat 'Em Up?
And I remember being in the back seat and looking over the back and seeing just like firearms in the back. And we went to this nightclub. Fredjo pulled up, and it was in Chicago, and a whole shooting like ended up in the club. And that was like my first club experience.
And how were you at the time?
I was 15 years old at the time.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Usher was 19.
Oh my God.
There explains Light 'Em Up.
There you go. Eat 'em up. Eat 'em up. Eat 'em up.
Light 'em up.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. light it up.
Eat 'em up, light 'em up, same thing.
Same thing. But we were in Chicago at that time, and we were all living on the same floor. It was Forrest, Vanessa Williams, Rosario Dawson, Fredro Starr, who's in Beyond the Arc too. And then Ush, Sarah Gilbert, Clifton Collins, who's on Breakfast Club. We had everybody. We all lived on the same floor. That was the heyday of making films.
Yeah.
The best ever was in the hotel in Toronto. Did you ever play? You played in Toronto?
Yes, I did.
Yes. So there's a hotel in Toronto called the Sutton Place. And they had 150 movies, and every actor was in the same hotel. Denzel was shooting John Q. DMX and Steven Seagal was doing the movie. Jamie Foxx was there. Everybody was there. Holly Berry, they were shooting X-Men there. Holly Berry was there. and you would just see everybody in the lobby, in the bar, in the elevator.
Yeah.
Terrence Howard would be playing piano at night every night we got home from work. That was like the heyday of movie making, the golden era, in my opinion.
Okay. So Robert, you're obviously you're a sports fan.
Yes.
And you played sports probably all your life growing up, especially here in LA. Who are some of your favorite like basketball players that played back in the day or today?
Yeah, I'd say Kobe's the top of the food chain. I mean, everybody loved MJ. I played against MJ in Chicago before. I almost ripped the ball from MJ.
I was about to say, that's like I almost blocked his shot too. I hear you.
No.
Hey, cheers to almost. Yeah, cheers to almost.
Cheers to that. Cheers.
Look, I'll drink to that because I almost blocked the shot a couple of times. So let me drink to that.
We hooped in Chicago. We did a movie called Light It Up in Chicago. And they had a late night gym that we basically hooped from like 2 a.m. to like 5 a.m. And like MJ walked in one time. Because it was like R. Kelly actually like running the gym. And I'm known for defense. I've ripped Tim Hardaway before at camp. Ooh. Tim, you know I ripped you at camp.
He called you out.
Yeah. I've ripped Cameron Payne is in there. You know, I ripped you at at IMG. But MJ hit a crossover and I had it. And he just grabbed me by the back of the neck and just pulled me back. I'm like, but he's a great one. So, but I would say top of the food chain for me is probably Kobe and Magic too. Irvin's.
Well, you got to give, and you probably have one too. You got to have what is like a great Kobe story that you have?
I think the best Kobe story was seeing him with so many girls when he first got to California.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, he was single. When he first got to California, he was single. So.
That was back when he was 17, 18 years old.
He could do that.
Every single time I saw Kobe with a different girl, man. I love it. Before Vanessa.
Yeah, way before Vanessa. Okay, there we go.
She's a local girl, too. I think she went to El Segundo High School, I think.
OC girl.
But he's a philosopher, so I like that. I like the Mamba mentality and things that he talks about and stuff. I think are pretty high level stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you're from LA.
Born and raised.
So tell me your favorite sports teams.
Favorite sports teams?
Yeah.
Well, the football teams that have no allegiance to Los Angeles. Raiders left, Rams left. So even though everybody's on a bandwagon with the Rams, shout out to the Rams for winning the Super Bowl. I was kind of a Steelers fan growing up.
Oh, he's gonna love that.
Yes. Hey, Rob, I knew we had something in common, brother. I knew we had something in common. So, somebody here don't want to hear that because the Steelers are 3-0, and their Broncos are 1-2. But
Steel curtain, okay. Steel curtain, that's right. Yeah.
So football, the Steelers.
Yeah. And then obviously with my family, we went to the Dodgers games all the time. But I was an Angels fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I was an Angels fan because I played at Baldwin Hills Park, which is in LA. It's a very popular park. All the athletes played there. I was on the Angels.
Okay.
So we was rooting for the Angels. But I went to a lot of Dodgers games with, family and all that kind of stuff. I have collected every MVP of the Dodgers baseball card.
Love that.
And then as far as, hoop, there's only one team in Los Angeles.
You bleed that purple and gold.
Purple and gold.
That's right.
Purple and gold, not that red, white, and blue.
On Lakers, diehard Lakers, do you what era do you love the most? Did you like the Showtime, the Lakers Shaq, Kobe Shaq, the Kobe Powell, LeBron era? What era do you like the most?
I would say the most nostalgic for me is probably the Irvin Kareem era. Just because I watched that with my dad the most.
Showtime.
Yes,
Showtime, baby. Showtime.
Likes that too.
Showtime. But being in the building when we got the new stadium was a big deal. Going to Staples Center and Nick Van Exel and Eddie Jones were moving men in my TV show.
Yeah.
And so was Rick. Rick was in my TV movie. He's a movie man. Rick Fox. Because I did all the things I did in the 90s was sports stuff. And Shaquille O'Neal had a big deal with Nickelodeon. And that was all the stuff that we did back then. So Shaq had this thing called sports theater. And so essentially my character was the spawn of Steph Curry before Steph Curry, which is the 4-point shot. A great basketball narrative. We did a baseball one. Brian Robbins, who's now the president of Paramount, won a bunch of DJ awards for that. But being in the building, I think Shaq had 61
63?
63.
Yeah.
I was there that night.
That was versus the Clippers, I believe.
Yeah. Remind them all.
And you know what? I believe that was the night of his birthday.
It was.
I believe that was the night of his birthday.
Yeah, Diesel.
And they had big Keith Glass.
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you a backstory about that night.
Okay.
That I believe that was the night that he asked for a bunch of tickets. And they weren't able to give him all the tickets he needed because it was his birthday.
Okay.
So he got pissed off and took it out on the Clippers.
On the court.
And took it out on the court and dropped 60 plus on the Clippers.
I love it. Shaq gave out a lot of tickets for the Lakers games for sure.
So that's a backstory on that particular night.
I got a good backstory. So I was at the Forum. Shaq gave me tickets. I took my grandmother, who died of breast cancer. Shout out to Una Vaca. But we went in the back in the locker room, and Jordan had been there that night. And I had done enough sports movies that as I'm walking up and seeing MJ's like, "Hey, can I get a picture for me and my kids? Because they love all the stuff that you've done." So MJ got a photo with me and him on his camera. And then years later, I was at a dinner with Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I see your picture on top of MJ's television at his house." And I'm like, that's a cool full circle story.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
MJ asking you, can I take a picture?
I got it.
You know what I'm saying? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So since, you came on the show to kind of debate my top 5.
Yeah.
What's your top 5? All time, your top 5 all time basketball sports
movies.
Your top 5. I want to hear.
I would say Remember the Titans is up there too.
Okay, that's
so Remember the Titans.
Okay.
I'll definitely go with Coach Carter.
Okay.
Denzel is in what's the boxing movie he did?
Oh, that was
Hurricane Carter.
Hurricane Carter.
You know what? That's a good one. That's a damn good one. You okay? That's a
Hurricane
I'm
Carter.
gonna have to change my damn top 5. I see that right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna have to go back in the archives and look at some of these. But Hurricane Carter was a hell of a movie.
Hurricane, and that's the movie that he really should have won the Academy Award for.
I agree.
Yes.
Instead of Training Day, I agree. He should have won it.
They kind of gave him like the
they owed him. They owed him one because of that.
Yeah.
But Hurricane Carter was a great movie.
Yeah.
That's 3.
He should have got it on a few other ones.
Well, that's true too. But Robert, that's a good one. So that's 3. You got 2 more.
I gotta go with Blues Chips.
So we have 2 or 3 in common so far. All right. So I didn't do too bad. That's 4. You got 1 more.
I'm gonna go with Sunset Park.
Sunset Park.
I'm gonna go Sunset Park.
Why Sunset Park?
Because it's an era. Like if I said time to get live, time to represent. Sunset Park, what time is it? And that's the same chant that we have for Richwood.
Right.
Okay. So if certain movies, they kind of leave the theater and they kind of stay with the teams.
Yeah.
And I think that's, when you have a movie that all the sports teams in the world start chanting that to hype themselves up before games, that makes it to me like an iconic sports movie.
Okay.
And maybe it's Sandlot. Sandlot's pretty good too.
We're going to stay on sports before we go to acting for a second, okay? Yeah. Let's talk about the WNBA. Do you follow it?
It's growing exponentially now.
What's your thoughts on Caitlin Clark?
So, is Caitlin Clark the Great White Hype? I mean, I think that, right now we've watched this sort of pollination between male athletes and female athletes training together.
Yeah.
Which I think is infectious. And we're seeing the game evolve a lot. They're more explosive, the shot selection, and the stadiums are filling up. I mean, Las Vegas played, 2 nights ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was full house.
20,000 plus.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a great thing in women's sports right now to be able to be in college and then take that to the next level and then trying to find how they're going to be compensated at a rate that they can survive, I think is the next challenge. Selling tickets is part of that.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen real soon.
Yeah.
Because of Caitlin Clark and Angie Reese, but also the women that are coming behind them.
Yeah.
And you have some women that are there, A.G. Wilson, another MVP. So the WNBA, I think, it's in great shape.
Yeah, I do too.
And the women owed a lot to Caitlin, because of the fact that she has put more eyeballs on the TV set.
Spotlight is on her for sure.
She's put more butts in the seats in the arenas.
Yes.
So she's done an unbelievable job. She got Rookie of the Year, which she obviously deserved. There was no doubt about that. So hats off to you, Caitlin. You had a great year. They got ousted last night by Connecticut Suns, but she had a fantastic year, and congratulations on Rookie of the Year. And she is right now the face of the WNBA.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta give her that. She's the face of the league.
I agree, and I think too. Also, I think corporate America needs to get behind the WNBA.
Oh, absolutely.
It elevates any sport.
Absolutely.
When everyone's got a shave face, whatever. Gillette, you can get behind it. No, it's an easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's certain factors and of certain corporate brands. I think getting behind that just works.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Can we turn the tables to your acting career?
Yeah, for sure.
How did you get into acting?
Walking home through some blood neighborhood. I live in 60s territory, but I had to walk through like the Dons, like kind of like the jungles. And there were some BPS Bloods that was there that day, and I was definitely affiliated with a rival gang. And I kind of dipped into a random building, and that building is called Faith Acting Studios.
Really?
And I was just in there stalling. Just in there, outnumbered 3-1 outside. I'm just going to chill in here for a little bit and just, because I used to love to fight. And so,
well, you had to. You was light skinned.
Exactly,
you had to fight a lot of times.
Yeah.
When you light skinned, you got to fight a lot of times when you're light skinned.
I didn't cower from fighting though.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because once they figure out, this light skinned brother ain't gonna take no shit, then they back off. You know what I'm saying?
My father's military. And he was a hand-to-hand combat instructor in the Army.
Oh, okay.
So I was ready to throw hands all the time.
Yeah, so
I fought almost every day growing up. But my dad was like, "You're gonna kill yourself if you keep this up."
It sounded like you was enjoying it.
Nah.
Sound like you was like, I was looking for a fight.
And it was, I had a teacher named Miss Hannah, and she said, "Careful, you're gonna end up a statistic."
Yeah.
And that was the end of.
That was the switch that came on and said,
I don't know what a statistic is, but I don't want to be a black man and be a statistic.
So what was in that studio?
So it was Wendy Raquel Robinson, who's a famous actress.
Oh, wow, yeah.
She was the teacher that was there.
And she was teaching class?
Acting classes, yeah. It was like an inner city, acting school. And when I got to start signing for class and got into class, I never participated, ever. I just sat in the back. I was too cool for school. I had my, Dodger cap on, white t-shirt, Jordans on, baggy-ass pants, and just never, ever participated. And then someone dared me. They was like, "Are you scared?" I'm like, "Scared? Acting? I'll be the best actor this goddamn school's ever seen." And then that was the challenge. The challenge. And the rest was history. And then 2 years from that, I had won the Emmy by then.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
What was your first role?
The first role was with Shaquille O'Neal. It was 4 points.
Is that right?
Because I was an athlete. So in that era of entertainment, there was basketball movies. And they had an open call, 900 kids for Shaquille O'Neal produced basketball narrative, a basketball drama. And his name's Luke Williams. And the name of the show was 4 Points. And he was like a undersized point guard trying to make it on the varsity team. And all the guys were in it. Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Rick Fox, everybody. Kenan Thompson was in it too. And the story was like, if you just keep working hard and you develop your shot, you're going to make it on this team. And then he gets in like the last play of the game and shoots like a shot from damn near half court. And it's called 4 Points. And that was like a 4-point three-pointer. So it's kind of, and I question whether Warden Steph Curry watched that and that was a spawn of him, because it's really right in line. It's really right in line. Because on Steph's player card coming into the NBA, they were saying like, can't jump, not heavy enough, won't be able to play defense well enough, like will be ineffective in the NBA. That was like on his card.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah. For real.
It was ridiculous. I mean, it was crazy, but you're right. They were saying that type of stuff, but I saw him in New Orleans working out with Chris Paul.
Yeah.
And I was like, this kid gonna be okay.
But like when he's coming up, it's like, who's he got to guard? Like Derrick Rose?
Right.
Like Westbrook?
You got to get pushed around.
Yeah. There's just like,
right.
Yeah.
But they also have to guard him.
Yes. Yeah.
There's always a flip side to that coin. You know what I'm saying?
True that.
They got to guard him too, right? So he can get him the business.
Yeah.
So Robert, still sticking on the acting. So you've done a ton of TV. You've done a ton of movies. Which one do you prefer the most and why?
It's all kind of the same beast for me. I really love with the craft. I think there's people at home, they get off work. People do blue collar jobs, white collar jobs. Life is stressful. It's my job to make sure everybody get entertained in the family. Mm-hmm. That's my job. Mm-hmm. So it don't matter if I'm on their TV screen or they go see me in a movie theater on the weekend. Like, it's important that they're like, it's great. And people I think people know how accessible that I am. Mm-hmm. My family's from the South. My family's from Louisiana. So, hey, baby. So I think people come up to me, especially in the airport, they feel very, very comfortable to have a conversation and spawn. And, I'm a God-fearing man, so I always make sure I show love to everybody and, hug grandparents and kiss babies, sort of thing.
Do you get a lot of people that, do a lot of people approach you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Your open arms?
Yeah. I've been on television for, 30 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been in everyone's living room. And I got 7 movies this year, and I'm just getting started. I'm getting warmed up. And so right now it's kind of like when Sam's career began to take off. So I'm just accelerating into, because everyone's been waiting for me to get older. I've been babyface.
You don't get old.
No, they're gonna keep waiting. Dan.
I'm serious. He got the cheat code. I'm still waiting for him to give it to me. The light-skinned brother cheat code.
Right.
I looked at your IMDb last night.
Yeah.
And it said click here, show more.
Yeah.
It was that deep.
Yeah.
What role are you most proud of playing over the years?
I think all of them. If we're gonna give like an answer, probably something that my dad would be really, really, proud of.
Has he told you what that is?
My father has all of my movies. Like every single thing I've done is like categorized and like got photos and posters, everything. It's quite nice having somebody who just says like good job, son. It's nice.
Yeah. Has your father ever come to you and said you could do better in a role?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My father's 90
your
years
biggest
old.
critic.
My father's 90 years old. He rode his Harley Davidson to his birthday this past year.
Wait a minute. Go back. You said your father's 90?
Yeah, he'll be 91 New Year's Eve.
Wow.
He's born in 1933. He's from the South. He's from Donaldsonville, Louisiana. So my dad's from the sticks. My dad dropped out of school at 12. Had a rifle and was working and bringing his brothers and make sure everybody got fed in the family. He's the oldest in his family. So, he don't play no shit. So my dad sat me down for his birthday this year and goes, "Why are you phoning it in?" He's like, "You're so talented and you're just lazy." He's like, "Get to it." He goes, "If you started a business, use that energy into your acting." And that lit a flame this year. He's like, "There's a room that you're not in. Get in that room." And he's like, when you look at Morgan Freeman and Sidney Poitier and Denzel Washington, he goes, they're in the room and you're not in that room. Get in that room. And I'm like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So now I've been just a lot more ferocious with all my stuff. And I got a list. You got to make a list.
That's right.
I got a list. And I'm just striking them off. Just check. And I'm doing another sports movie. It's called Beyond the Arc. And we're bringing everybody involved into it. I talked to GP, Gary Payton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's going to come do a cameo for us. Talk to Lamar Odom, D. Fish.
Yeah.
And I got Vernon Davis, who I love too, who's great. Yeah. And then Whoopi Goldberg. Fucking Whoopi's going to do.
Oh, man.
Yeah, she's going to do
Legend.
a cameo. Yeah, so we're building Beyond the Arc, and there's a very, very, very talented actor named Kevin Chandler, who I think is incredible. And he's playing the lead character, Jackson. It's kind of like a cross between like a Dame Lillard in university, like a Weber State type athlete, 4 years at a mixed with kind of the stuff that Lamar Odom kind of went through in his own personal life. That's kind of the Jackson character as the lead is phenomenal. It's gonna be Beyond the Arc.
When?
It's gonna be Martin Luther King weekend 2026.
Okay. We're gonna have to be looking for
Which
that.
is the same weekend that Coach Carter came out. So Beyond the Arc, check it out.
All right, so Robert, if you had to get, and it sounds, obviously your father was extremely supportive of you, but also didn't have a problem criticizing you when needed to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's love right there. You know what I'm saying? That's love right there. If you had to give advice to an up and coming actor, you know, what would some of that advice be?
I would say whatever you're doing, do it twice. Everything you do it twice. We had cinder blocks in our backyard. My father said, move all them cinder blocks from there all the way there and then put them all the way back perfect. So now, like, my mind is conditioned, like, I have to do everything double. And so if you're ever in a situation where someone's asking you, do you have more in the tank? Your brain is used to it.
Yeah.
Used to it. I got a loop that I run in the morning. I'm starting to run now because I have a new character named Zeke. Zeke is a killer. His father's abusing his mom. He cocks his MP25 Raven and blows his dad's head away the opening scene. It's called Zeke. It's on AMC. We're shooting it in a week. And so I have to train for Zeke because I take all my characters very, very, they're real to me. They're alive. That's why when people ask me, like, what's your favorite? I'm like, I've been them all.
Yeah.
You know, I've been Ziggy and Light It Up. I've been all these different characters. Even this last character, Maurice in RSVP, he's a maniacal, angry man. They mess with his wife. He's killing 13 people in one film. And I went overboard. The whole crew was like, yeah, you're actually, it's frightening working with you, but I want to be that line in the gym. The acting field is my gym.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm an athlete when it comes to acting.
So you've played the villain role. You've played sports, comedy. What do you prefer?
I can do it all. I'm just traversing through. That's a part of the reason why I like Irvin. Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Because we know that, like, if you put him at any role on the court,
he can play all of them.
Yeah, he can play all of them.
Yep, he has done that.
Yes, he has done that. Yes,
he said he can play them all. No, he has done that.
Yeah. So I try and to be able to do, you know, the horror, suspense, the thrillers, the actions, the rom-coms, heavy drama stuff. You know, I can do it. I can do it all. And a lot of times people are like, it's weird that that's the same. You're the same person in those different roles.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a new horror film coming out. It's called The Demon King. And
are you getting in character right now? Like right now, are you getting in character?
You're gonna be growling and shit at us over here. Okay, hold up now. Hold up.
But I think, like, so, like, you know, this in the morning now I'm building Zeke's character. So I'll run 4 miles and then the last 200 yards I sprint. If there's a person on my block running when I'm running another 4 miles. If I see somebody just like outside of their home, I'm running it again.
That's like, that's like extra inside motivation inside of you. You just got to get it out of you.
Just eat you for breakfast, like that Mike Tyson, like, take his kids, you know?
Like that Mike Tyson, I want to eat your ear off.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, we talked about, you know, a little bit of everything, but I mean, your acting is phenomenal. So who did you look up to when it came to acting? Who was your idols? Who was the people that you really looked up and said, man, that dude is good, or that young lady is good at what they do?
Yeah. I think at the top of my food chain, acting-wise, might be Bruce Lee.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah. Because Bruce, it's like he's winning everybody. Everybody is in their kitchen, their living room, and their bedroom doing the Bruce Lee moves.
Yeah.
But if you were to walk across Bruce Lee in real life, you know, like, that ain't just acting. That's
real.
He's a weapon.
Yeah.
You know, he had the respect of everybody.
Yeah.
Like, don't get it confused. What I can do on screen, I can do off screen.
Right. It ain't no joke, right?
Yeah. So I think that, like, when I think of, and you know, Bruce obviously an athlete.
Yeah.
You know? So, and he's had his own philosophy, like be like water and Wing Chun. And I've done a lot of that. You know, I created this Highway Fit thing, which is basically like my workout that I do that I can do anywhere. And people all across the world have come to me like, yo, that's the best workout I've ever done. I'm like, low intensity, no weights, no gym, no challenge, but it's great. But I want, when people interact with me in real life, to be like, that's not some sucker, or that's not some, you know, expletive. You know, I want people to be like, I look him eye to eye and I'm like, I respect you. I don't want to encounter anybody in the world, whether it's a surgeon, the president of the United States, or anybody, and think they work harder than me. You might do something different than me, but you don't work harder than me. So that's kind of why I think, you know, someone like Bruce is, like, incredible.
Yeah.
Return of the Dragon, he's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Who you telling?
Yeah, Ed Crimson.
I know. And, you know, now this how crazy life is. So I knew last night that you were coming on today, right?
Yeah.
And I got a package last night from Kareem, you know. And I asked Cap for his jersey, sign it for me, blah, blah, blah. So Cap sends me a jersey. He sends me a shirt as well with him and Bruce Lee. The Enter the Dragon fight and everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I got my granddaughters at the house. Two of my granddaughters at the house. And I asked my oldest granddaughter, I said, y'all don't even know who this is. And she was like, I know who Bruce Lee is.
Yeah.
And she's 12 years old. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Bruce has been gone way longer than she's been on Earth.
Correct.
And she was like, I know who Bruce Lee is. Yeah. That legacy that he's left.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable. So that's phenomenal to even... I don't think there's a whole lot of people that would have thought that you would have said Bruce Lee.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's deep.
All right, Robert, we're going to get you out of here on this. So the reason why you were here was because of his top 5.
Yeah. It's always my top 5. Yeah. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Kid J, you had a top 5 too.
Yeah, but he saw your top 5. He didn't see my top 5. Okay. So I want to start a new top 5.
Oh, I like that.
I like this.
Okay, we're going to start a new top 5.
I like this.
You already put one in there, but I want you to give me your top 5 actors. You already said Bruce Lee.
Top 5 actors.
Yes, and we're going to put this up. Right. We're going to put this up. Okay, and we're going to start a new trend here. Top 5 actors.
This is good. So we already mentioned Bruce Lee.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Sidney Poitier.
Love it. Okay.
Byron, what you think about that?
I love Sidney Poitier.
Okay.
This man is magnetic. Like, I was at this conference thing and Sidney was talking and Denzel and Sam were quiet.
Really?
And I was like, whoa.
Man command that room, didn't he? Man command that room, man.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a pick, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with DW.
Oh, yeah.
Simply because I was close with John David Washington growing up. So I was in the household. And to see how much of like committed he was off screen.
Yeah.
I think is great. Like he is becoming that must-see attraction.
Yeah.
James McAvoy. If you ever see Split, he plays like 20 characters.
That's a good one.
He plays, he's a phenomenal, ferocious actor. And he could do it all. Oh, one more. I might have to go with the seat filler. I'm gonna have to go with Tom Cruise.
Wow.
It's a seat filler. I'm gonna tell you why Tom Cruise. I was in Idaville, Indiana, in the sticks. And I was in the backyard with everybody and we were shooting guns. It was hitting targets. And it was like some of the targets 200, 300 yards out. And this father said to his kids, let's go watch Top Gun. And the kids were like, just exploded. And he's like, y'all go wash up first. And they ran to the bathroom and took a shower and got in their PJs and ran. And they put Top Gun on. And these kids were jumping on the sofa. And I was thinking, like, the way that it is to go to an arena and they're like, and now, like, coming through the tunnel. And they say your favorite player and everyone gets up.
Yeah.
And then doom, doom, ch.
Yeah.
Doom, doom, ch. We will. I'm like, Tom Cruise is the we will rock you of the acting game. I was like, that's what I want. I want kids to be like, at home to be like, Robert Ri'chard. I'm running to the bathroom, washing up, get the popcorn. I'll get good grades to go see his movie.
My man.
Yeah. That's pretty deep.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the top 5.
All right. I love that.
I do too.
What you think about that, B?
That top 5 is dope. But I mean, if I'm gonna go with my top 5, I gotta go with Denzel Washington, obviously. Sidney Poitier, obviously.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman is in that top 5.
Yes, Morgan Freeman.
And then for me, Al Pacino.
Oh, I love that one.
And Robert De Niro.
Oh, I love that one.
Those are my 5 right there.
Heat's one of my favorite scenes. The diner scene when Pacino and De Niro are talking together.
And Heat?
Yeah. That's one of my favorite.
Hey, if I got to put you down, I won't hesitate.
Hey, listen.
He said, you do know that coin flips the other way now.
I'm going to put it out there right now. I have not worked with Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. is good.
Michael B. Jordan.
I do. I love Michael B. Because he's another brother that puts in the time.
Guys.
He puts in work.
He puts in that time.
Yes, he does.
But you and I got to go head to head. I'm calling you out. Let's do a film together.
Wow.
Let's go head to head.
Y'all should do a light-skinned version of the Black Panther.
I want some more
well,
like
y'all be going at each other, you know?
Shoot them up?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Talk about your drink before we get up out of here one last time.
Yeah, for sure. It's a 8-time distilled. It's vodka. It's called Una. Shout out to all the women entrepreneurs out there. It's a woman-led brand. The founder's a woman. And it's a great, amazing Bologna-infused vodka. It is a sipping vodka. It's a fantastic.
Yes, it is a sipping vodka, and it was fantastic. And Robert, also tell the people where they can reach out to you if they want you.
If you guys see me in public, come up to me. Do not be afraid. I'm very, very accessible. Love you guys, and in the name of God, I appreciate you guys, and let's work hard and make America what it should be. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Ri'chard.
My brother.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Love you guys,
yes,
man.
Love you, dog. Thank you
Byron
again,
Scott's
man.
Fast Break. Another episode. Thank you for watching Byron Scott's Fast Break. If you like what you saw, here's some more videos. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.